Hey, I am Angela Sauer.
And I'm Conrad Sauer.
And this is Katahdin. I don't know if you can see her. She's our 3.5-month Great Dane. We just wanted to, we are Impact Adventures and want to talk a little bit about who we are. We've been married 29 years. We're in our mid-50s. We both always loved the outdoors. I've had a different outlook on it than him. We met when he was getting out of the Marines. Was it 1990? 89. We're a little bit different minded. I'm very goal orientated and very athletic minded. We have a daughter. Her and I both played collegiate volleyball. And one thing led to another. Her and I ended up speed hiking the Appalachian Trail in 2015. Once we had kind of brought this family unit to being outdoors. And again, it was all athletically motivated. And Impact Adventures came about when I was ready to make a paradigm switch. I also was a bodybuilder, and I won Miss Tennessee in 2008. I do love the gym. I love lifting weights. But things just had to, I just kind of felt the change coming on. And when we would go out camping, Conrad would be more the survivalist mentality of us. He would be the one gathering the wood and always checking out what kind of filters, everything we used on the Appalachian Trail for my daughter and I to speed hike it. If you don't know what the Appalachian Trail is, it goes from Springer Mountain, Georgia to Katahdin, Maine. It's 2,200 miles roughly. We hiked it in 106 days. And all the equipment that we used on there, Conrad had researched it all and knew what was best from our filters, etc. So I looked at him and I said, it happens to be during a pandemic, so we have a lot of home time, and I think when you go through something like this, it gives you a different outlook on life. We don't have news, we don't have cable, we just have Netflix, so we'll watch YouTube and different videos and things like that. And I said, how do you feel, Conrad, about helping me learn, and then I can teach people through me how to thrive in the outdoors? Because it's one thing to thrive in the outdoors when everything's handed to you and it comes easy. But all of a sudden, if you find yourself in a situation when you have to stay warm, we had a couple situations on the Appalachian Trail that there were nights we almost froze to death because we weren't prepared. So we've taken 29 years of married experience and 53 years of, I grew up in a family that lived on the lake. We were always outdoors. And we're going to bring to you via Colorado, we do a lot of hiking out there. Tennessee, we'll do a lot of hiking here. And just how to thrive in the outdoors. We'll start simple. We'll talk about equipment. Doesn't have to be expensive, but you do have to know. And I'm not saying we know everything, but as we take the time to educate ourselves, I learned something the other night, and most of the time my husband already knows it. We're going to do a little bit of cold weather camping tomorrow night. Cool weather camping. Should be about 34, 35. And there's a reason why we don't set our thermostats at the house on the 35. Our puppy is, and you'll get a chance to watch the puppy grow, of course. But tomorrow night, as we're cool weather hiking, I'm looking at all our pads. And I said, what kind of pad? And check our values. And anyway, things like that. Our value is, the warmer it is. I just learned that last night. So I asked Connor and I said, do you know such and such? And he says, yep. And so his pad happens to be the warmest one, so I get to use that tomorrow night. But anyway, we'll bring...
That's my pad.
Right. So, we're going to bring a way how to thrive in the outdoors, a little survivalist mentality, not hardcore. We're not going to pack all our guns out and have all these special bags, but we are going to have some cool knives, some cool axes. We've already learned a lot. Axes, is that a word? Axes. I think it is.
Or you just say more than one axe.
We ordered, we're going into this, a few things that were rated, number one in their field. And the first tree we tried to chop down, the axe head would turn. And so it's a little bit of an annoyance. So as we learn things, we'll bring it to you guys. And we're going to do what we always do. We love to live outdoors. We'll take off on the weekends. We'll film it. We'll put together what we're doing that week. Started my first campfire last week without matches. I'm excited about that. And I always wanted to start a fire. I've tried for years. I thought, how hard can it be? We rode motorcycles and snowmobiles. We always had gasoline around. I've taken a 5-gallon can before and just wood, and I thought it's got to start with this. But as soon as the gasoline burns off and the tree's not burning, it was just a big frustration. But I didn't have to, because Conrad always loved his little teepee thing he had going on, but never really paid attention to it until I said, okay, time out. I want to learn how to do this. So, very first try, doing it the methodical way that we should do it. Not hard at all. Just doing one thing upon the other. And for me, all of a sudden, it was really cool. Moms, dads, maybe your kid who's 5 or 6 years old, you can teach him how to start a fire the right way so he learns. Because, you never know when you're going to be in a situation where you need warmth. And if you did, I was very capable of achieving whatever I wanted to achieve, and I couldn't start a fire as of 3 months ago in my whole life. So if you learn how to do it the right way, it's a valuable skill that they'll always have. So if you want to take a journey with us, we're all about sharing who we are and what we do out loud. Got anything
Well, as you can see, she talks a lot more than I do. But yeah, we just want to kind of go back to some basic of life. We grew up when we were kids, there was no such thing as video games. There was no cell phones, no social media. We grew up living in the yard, out in the trees, I spent my whole childhood fishing, hunting, going backpacking and hiking with my buddies. We lived in the woods from sunup to sundown. We were gone from the house until Mom called us back to dinner. We were outside, and I think we've lost that in America. There's so much to do on this little thing that you fit in your hand, and everybody just lives on that, and they don't live life anymore. So we just want to.
I like that. That's a great point, because if you think about it, all the best games that these kids want to play, they're all taking them on
Outdoor adventures.
An adventure of some type. We're adventurous people. We want to live out loud, and it's so cool. They're doing all this stuff and shooting all this stuff up and trying to win the girl or get to the end of this journey. It's one that teaches them how to fight in the game, but the game don't teach you how to fight. It just teaches you how to, and I really suck at them, how to move the thing. If you want to learn how to jump, you want to learn how to start a fire, there's all kinds of, I like that. That's good. Yeah, so we are going to help inspire you and your family to get outdoors. I like that. We didn't even plan that. Had a couple other ones. What do we say? Don't survive, thrive.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that didn't grow up in the woods or outside have had bad experiences when they were kids. One time, their parents didn't know much about the outdoors, so they went on one camping trip, and it was a nightmare, so they've never wanted to do it again.
If we don't see you outdoors, we'll see you here and hope to inspire you to get outdoors.